Alrighty, good morning everyone. How are you? This is a new week, a new Monday, and lots of people don't like to wake up on a Monday. What is it about Mondays? Anyway, we welcome you to the show. This is the Diana White Show live at 10:30. We do this Monday through Friday at 10:30, and we invite you to tell your friends as we welcome you from around the world and in the United States. Thank you so much for joining me today. And just want to, give you a little heads up about what's going to take place on the program this week. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, I have a special guest, Mr. David Muir. He's a photographer that most of you must have known of, and he will tell us about his festival that he had over the past couple of weeks. Yes, and he will also tell us about something that I think is truly beautiful, a book of photography called Pieces of Jamaica. What a beautiful, 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 well done book. Kind of takes you back and make you think about the wonderful things and the simple things about Jamaica. And if you live in on an island, it kind of takes you there. So we'll talk to David Muir tomorrow via Skype. And we will let him tell you a lot of things that he's planning, what he's involved with, and how he, is planning to promote Pieces of Jamaica. What a fabulous book it is, all right? So we look forward to that. And, of course, on Wednesday, Dax Dunn will be here with wellness because it's Wednesday. It's got to be Wellness Wednesday with Dax Dunn. And we're trying to work on some other people to join us on the show. But I want to tell you about, my weekend. What did you do for the weekend? Hope you had a great weekend and you celebrated with family and all those wonderful things. Also, just want to let you know that I actually went and had some Jamaican food, which I rarely do at a restaurant, because I was told, of course, that the food was good by Anne-Marie. So Anne-Marie told me the food was great, so we went as a family, and it was really good. Okay? Because, I believe that I cook the best Jamaican food, so no one can actually please me when it comes to cooking Jamaican food, all right? So we went to Auntie Merle's kitchen, and what a fantastic... Forget about the food. Brother Bunny is just awesome, pleasant. A lot of Jamaican businesses you go to, and don't crucify me now, because I'm going to speak the truth. A lot of Jamaican restaurants and businesses that you go to, when you enter, the people are always frowning and acting like they're doing you a favor to be there. And some of them are selling you overnight food, and which I don't eat. I don't eat my own overnight food, so I don't want to go to a restaurant and get overnight jerk chicken or curry goat or stew peas. I'm just tired of calling out restaurateurs, owners, about this kind of thing. And, Brother Bunny, he is so pleasant, so welcoming, and just, there to please the customer. And I don't think it has anything to do with me, because people told me about him before I got there. So, beautiful, beautiful experience, and I'm hoping to go and try his red pea soup, so he better make that good too, because I make a mean red pea soup. So, because my mom is, just a great cook in terms of Jamaican food, and anything else she decides to spin comes out great. So I'm quite a food skeptic. I'm willing to try any food from any country, and I've done quite a bit. I think the only thing I'm kind of missing right now, I have never tried Russian food. So I'm looking forward to doing that one of these days. All right? So we want you to check out Auntie Merle's kitchen. And of course, it's right in Palm Beach County. And it's in the Burlington Coat Factory Plaza. And of course, the official address is 10385 Southern Boulevard. And that's Royal Palm Beach. The number to call Brother Bunny and tell him Diana sent you to taste some of that great food that he's cooking. And just tell him I sent you, and he will make sure he treats you well. Even though I don't think that guy has a bone in his body to treat anyone poorly. He smiles, he's pleasant and patient. All right. 561-798-1399. That's 561-798-1399. Tell Brother Bunny that Diana Wright sent you from the Diana Wright Show, and you're there to sample all of what he cooks. And he does catering and all those great things. All right, so check him out, and I will be talking about him as I'm gonna go back and sample some other things and tell you about it, and hope you have a great time, because it's kind of difficult to find Jamaican restaurants that are good and the person serving you the food is pleasant. Because I don't know what happened to the smile thing, but they have taken away the smile. And don't you know that when you smile, you are just giving energy to yourself and someone else when you smile, all right? And I want to focus on the I Love Me theme a little bit before I move to the next thing that I want to talk about. Is love. When you talk about love, people think they know everything about love, and but it's one of those things that if you look inside yourself and you wonder about love, so you say to yourself, oh, I want love. I love my children. I love my family. But how many times have you taken time out to say, I love me? I truly love me and how God made me, and I don't want to be anybody else but me. How many times have you done that? I truly want to know. How many times have you done that? Because I think we take time to love each other, to love our friends, to love our family, to love our spouses or significant other, but we really don't take time to love who we are. And it's truly important for you, each and every one of you, to love yourself. Because love is just the biggest things. Don't we all want it? We all need it. God gave it to us. So why don't we have it for ourselves? Because when you meet people, they have to do this because they're not satisfied with this thing or that thing, or, my hair isn't the way I want it to be, or, that kind of thing. So we need to stop that. We need to love who we are. Yes, we can add whatever we want to add to make ourselves feel better, but you have to start from that place of loving you. So, if you're going to start there, life will be beautiful. I promise you that. Because when you give love and you have love for yourself, it's amazing. Okay? So also want to talk about a little gathering that I was at yesterday, and I just want to tell you about this gospel concert that's coming up, and it's being put on by Dee and her husband, and it's Sunday, November 17th. So you have a little time to think about it. Yeah? It's going to be in Palm Beach Lakes High School to be specific, the auditorium there, and it's at 3505 Shiloh Drive in West Palm Beach. And of course, none other than Anointed Voices will be there. Brother Littell Gale and his group will be there. Sharon Chestnut Fraser, the Overcomer Brothers, and I gather the star of this thing is a pretty good worshiping, singing kind of guy. His name is Marlon, Brother Paul Anderson. So you need to go check them out and give them your support come November 17. All right, so those are some of the things that we want to talk about today, and don't forget to join me tomorrow when I talk to David Muir, the photographer. There are other things about him. The photographer who puts books together and who puts festivals together and galleries and, and exhibitions, and you all are enjoying it, so you can enjoy him when he joins me tomorrow on the Diana Wright Show live. Alrighty, I'm gonna go to start with marriage today, because I'm kind of just tired of hearing about the Obama care website bashing. Website was down yesterday. Oh my God. And everybody is so happy that things are failing. Why do we do that? Shouldn't we all be gunning and praying for solutions to come? And now we're hearing that, some people are complaining that their premiums have gone up because they're accommodating poor people. Wow. Seriously. In California, they're saying some people's, or quote unquote, middle class or upper class people, their premiums are going up because they're, compensating for these other little people at the bottom. Those little people, those people. Do we understand that we are all one in God's eyes? It doesn't matter how much money you have or all the trappings that you have. We are all going to end up with the same amount of real estate in the earth, and that is called the grave. Because we must die at some point. Yeah, I want to live as long as Abraham did. But we are going to die. That's something we can't stop ever. You're 105? Oh, hallelujah. You're 150? Hallelujah, praise God. You live as long as the people in the Bible? Wonderful, but you will die. So are we ever going to understand and believe and trust that we are all one? And I want to talk about forgiveness because, sometimes your friends pisses you off and you don't want to forgive them, but you must. So for all my friends who have ticked me off, I've forgiven you. Okay. Where are my cameras? All right. I don't know. The devil just came and crashed this thing here. Wow. Okay. There you go. I don't know. We're coming back. Yes, there goes the signal again. I guess somebody just decided to do the wrong thing. Yeah, there we are. We're back, and I don't know what happened there. Some, crazy thing happened. But just wanted you to know that if you are my friend, you were my friend, and you think I ticked you off or you ticked me off, forgiveness is my game. Because I don't keep malice. I will tell you how I feel. I'll be mad, but that's it. And if you want to keep malice with me, I'm in no malice with you. So for all of you out there who think you kind of sort of had something, even in high school, because a lot of folks from Arden High School that I attended are now hitting me up on Facebook, and I thank you so much for doing that. So blessed are those people who are finding me on Facebook, courtesy of Lois Grant, So thank you, and thank you for liking the book cover, and please go to my website and watch the shows that you have never seen. And if you think there's someone that's worthy for me to interview on the program, I would be so happy to welcome that person. So I'm going to put the number up, and I'm going to remind you of the number. It's 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. So you can have time to write the number down. I'll keep it up there for a minute. And just letting you know that I so appreciate all the well-wishers and the sympathy and empathy for the near-death experience of my daughter because of someone else's negligence. So thank you so much. I so appreciate it. My phone keeps ticking with messages from Facebook and well-wishers. So thank you so much. I don't want pity. I don't want you to be sorry for me or my daughter or my family for that matter. I just want you to know and understand that God is truly working miracles every single day of your life and my daughter's life. And just appreciate that. And, just keep thinking in the supernatural, because if you think of the Bible, when Peter was walking on the water, his eyes were focused on Jesus and the supernatural. The minute he started getting, monkey mind, he started to sink, yeah? So if we decide that we're going to keep our eye on Jesus, focused like a laser beam, and all the blessings that come with doing that. And we need to do our part also. Can't just expect God to just give you, and you're not giving. So, just keep your eye on Jesus, focused on the supernatural. Because once you're focused that you can walk on that water, you can achieve anything. I promise you. Mark it down today. It is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, but we want him to send prosperity now. That's in the scripture. I didn't make it up. Go read your Bible. Okay. All right. So what is today? Is the 28th. So I want you to write that down, but I also want you to write down the date of April 30th, 2014. That is I Love Me Day. All right? I Love Me Day, created by yours truly and the Diana Wright Show, and we want you to celebrate that day. I would love for you to be wearing my t-shirt, the I Love Me t-shirt. I'll be wearing one, you know. I wore it all week last week almost. So, all right. So, I Love Me Day. International I Love Me Day, April 30th, 2014. We had one in 2013. It was fantastic. This was the first year because 13 is my number. I like to start things in 13. So 14 now. We are asking you to join with us. Spread the word like wildfire on Facebook and everywhere. Tell a friend, tell the friend to tell a friend, because we want April 30th, 2014 to be an awesome day. Just like you celebrate Valentine's Day, we want you to celebrate I Love Me Day. The day that you will do for you something special. Make time for it. Don't tell me you're too busy to take care of yourself or do something for yourself because you always have to be doing something for your children or No, I want you to do something for yourself. We're going to take a little break and come back to you in just a slither of a moment as we thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. This is the Diana Wright Show. Hello everyone, this is a season of giving. And I'm asking you to consider one of your gifts to be Deadly Negligence, written by yours truly, Diana Wright. A story that will give you hope, make you mad, shock you sometimes, but is bound to increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. So please, give Deadly Negligence as a gift. As the gifting season begins to heat up, I am depending on you to do this for me. Thank you so much, and be the proud person to give a gift of the book, Deadly Negligence. It's available on Amazon.com and on my website, DianaWrightTV.webs.com. Thank you so much for my viewers around the world and in the United States. Be blessed. Alrighty, we are back and we thank you so much for joining us on our live presentation of the Diana Wright Show. You can also go to my website at DianaWrightTV.webs.com and watch the show that you missed today live, and also any other shows that you've missed. You can do it on your iPhone, your smartphone, your iPad, any kind of tablet, or your desktop computer or your laptop. Any place you are, you can pick the show up, all right? So there's no excuse not to watch. How about that? I want to just take you on a journey now to Macy's, where an actor, I'm going to give you the story in more detail, whether tomorrow or whatever. So they're calling it shop and frisk, like stop and frisk, when the police stops you in New York City and frisk you even though you haven't done anything. So Macy's, Yeah, the young man went in to buy his mom a watch and was arrested because they thought that his credit card was fake or something. What's up with that? So black people don't have any money now? Unless you are a movie star? That's black? Because we see, not necessarily, because even Oprah Winfrey, who has billions, went to Switzerland and was snubbed because the girl in the store thought that she could not afford the bag. What is going on? So Macy's had that incident, and then there's another incident at Barney's. that seem to be, Barney's of New York, that seem to be even worse. Wasn't that, oh, they're all bad. What's going on? Okay, so do we need to boycott Macy's and boycott Barney's of New York? Maybe we just need to do so. Because you know, when you go into these stores, and I remember Dillard's was a culprit of that years ago. There was a Jamaican man and his son who went into the store, and they followed them around and accused them of stealing when they weren't stealing anything. They sued the store and they won. So is it going to be just a bundling of lawsuits against Macy's and Dillard's and Barney's of New York now? How do you arrest someone for making a purchase in your store? And the young man from Barney's, he was actually accosted by the cops outside the store after he had left with his package and paid. And then they found out that the card was real. What do you do? How do you explain what's going on in America right now? How do you explain the racism that is rearing its head every single day? What do you do? Well, I refuse to live in fear, so join me with that, please. And I expect God to fix it. And fix these people that are committing the crime, because it is a crime to be so racist that you are going to accuse someone of doing something that they did not do. So you're going to assume that the card that I use to charge my goods is fake? Wow. Anyway, let's start here. And you all need to stop being so happy about the fact that the Obama website thing is not going well. All you Republicans and Tea Partiers, please. Don't be so happy. Because you know, when you're happy about someone else's problem, you tend to get a bigger problem. So be mindful of your glee, all Tea Partiers and Republican people. Just be careful when you're going down that rabbit hole, because the rabbit might just bite you. So forget that old adage that first comes love, then comes marriage. These days it's more like first comes college, praise the Lord, a good job. Now, how about starting your own business? Maybe a house and a savings account, and then we can talk about marriage. In that order. Wouldn't that be wonderful if all our children will go to college, do their best, stay focused, graduate from college, start their own business, or some people might have to get a job. Yeah, I don't want my daughter to get no job. She should be the boss. Yeah? And, you know, try to buy a house or a condo or a townhouse and, you know, have some savings and your 401k or your investments in order, and then you think about getting married. What a wonderful world it would be. Don't you think so? I'm going to take a break and come back. Hello everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book, available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. All right. Okay. I am back, and hopefully my coughing has gone. I guess that thought was so good that it just choked me up, because that is order that I think things should go in. You know, people should not be getting married before they have established themselves and feel good about who they are, love themselves, and all that good stuff. And I always wondered about all the gay people who are rushing to get married. You know, have they given it some thought? Is marriage all that you think it is? You might want to think about that. So as a background over the rights of gay and lesbian couples to get married, experts say the share of heterosexual Americans who are married has fallen dramatically compared to decades past. So people are not getting married that quickly anymore. What's more, the demographics of who is walking down the aisle has also had a shift substantially. So in recent years, people with a college degree have become more likely to get and stay married. Really? Than their less educated counterparts. Oh, that's interesting. And those who stay married also tend to be much wealthier than unmarried adults. So if you stay married, you're more likely to be wealthy. If you're getting divorced, it seems like you're less educated. Okay, go with this now. It's not my words. Some people have talked about marriage as a luxury good. You know, some people, they only get married to a guy if they think the guy has a pot of gold sitting somewhere, or he's a knight, or he's a prince, or he's a count, or a lord, or something. Yeah, they have that show on TV called what? Princes, whatever. Where princes and lords come from Europe and come to America and find love. Because the girls where they are only think about their money and wants to go to expensive dinners and that kind of thing. So I have a caution for women who are dating. If you drink, say champagne, and a guy takes you out for the first date, please do not order Dom Perignon or an expensive champagne that you know nothing about. You only hear about it and you want to now bleed his pocket. So whether you think he's wealthy or not, sometimes it's even better to say, no thank you, I don't really drink. And if you drink, just order what you normally order. Okay? Don't try to order something expensive because you think the guy has the money to pay for it. That's not impressive. Alright? And be yourself. Don't act all highfalutin and you're not. Just be yourself. The self that you love is the self that you take on a date, because if the person that's trying to date you loves the real person that you are, it's more likely that that relationship will go well, as opposed to you pretending to be someone else, and when they see the real you, they run for the exit. So, Susan Brown, a sociology professor at Bowling Green State University and co-director of the National Center for Family and Marriage Research, said that. Those are her words. So that's a stark switch from decades past, especially for women, according to the Research Center's analysis of government data on women's marriage patterns by education. So those educated women are getting married and staying married. Back in the 1940s, if some of you can remember, if you're old enough to think of it, or if you're not old enough like me, then you can think of the history. College-educated women were the least likely to be married because those women pursued their career dead focus. They had no time for love. The opposite is true now. So, as of 2011, around 60% of women with a college degree were married. Really? Compared to less than 50% of those with a high school degree or below, and that's what the analysis found. What we're seeing with marriage trends today mirrors what's happening in our broader economy, where we're seeing diverging fortunes for those at the upper and lower end of the spectrum, with rising inequality. That's what Brown said. Some experts argue, though, that marriage itself is contributing to rising inequality because people who are highly educated and therefore have higher income potential are more likely to choose each other as spouses. That's making it less likely that marriage itself will move someone up the economic ladder. So if you're getting married thinking you're going to get rich, I have got to take another break. Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what can you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter. And join the conversation on The Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook. And follow me on Twitter. Hello?
Hello, is this Miss
Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what will you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter. And join the conversation on The Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook. And follow me on Twitter. Okay, sometimes you can go through the show without a cough or a sip of water for the entire hour. And another day, it's just like this, crazy. Okay, so so that's making it less likely that marriage itself will move someone up the economic ladder and increasing the chances that two low or high income people will couple up and share their economic struggles or their fortunes. So, remember in the olden days, the doctor used to marry the nurse? Not so anymore. Now the doctor is marrying the doctor. So he's equalizing the money and marrying the doctor. Okay? So it's not about, you know, your husband going off and meeting a nurse and then he kicks you out and gets married to the nurse. No, doctors are now marrying doctors. So if you are looking for that sugar daddy, maybe you should consider yourself becoming a sugar mama first. So make sure you're secure. That's basically what it is. Just be secure in your own skin before you try to get someone else to try to get you there. So my advice, just like the survey is saying, you finish high school, you go to college. If you don't go to college, then pursue whatever your trade or your hands. Some people just like to work with their hands. So you pursue that. You graduate. You either get a job or own your own company. You buy a house. you have a savings account or some investments, and then you think about the married thing. Good advice. I just thought you would not want to know that, don't you? So former Republican turned independent turned Democrat. This is a funny story, but a nasty story. And even in death, people are being nasty. So former Republican turned independent, turned Democrat, Charlie Crist, who might be running for governor again in 2014 against the current governor, has quite possibly received the biggest, most embarrassing public smackdowns in recent history memory. Because when I read it, I thought, okay, let me read it on someone else's website. And I went to several websites and I just couldn't believe I saw it on television, and I'm going, no, that is not happening. So the widow of recently deceased Republican Congressman Bill Young of Florida, Beverly Young, she sent an email to Charlie Crist. Okay? And this is what it said. And I'm recommending that no one does this, because this is really nasty. She officially advised him that his presence at her husband's memorial service would be unacceptable. Young stated that she did not want the political opportunist, who is Charlie Crist, to try to exploit the memorial service for his own political agenda. The email is to officially advise you, this is the email I'm reading now, officially advise you that your presence at my husband's memorial services will be unacceptable. I have watched over the years as Bill had your transparent attempts to manipulate the political arena. I don't want my husband's memorial service to be another opportunity for that, and I will not tolerate anyone turning this into a platform for political gain. Please honor my family's request. Sincerely, Beverly Young, widow of Congressman Bill Young. Why did Beverly Young feel compelled to send Charlie Crist this email, you might ask? Because I was asking. According to the Tampa Bay Times, cited that the reason for the email could possibly stem from a 2009 political move by Charlie Crist that involved her late husband. Young allies were turned off with the way Crist in 2009 held a cattle call of sorts, summoning Young and other potential candidates for Crist to appoint to unfinished term of U.S. Senator Mel Martinez. Young showed up looking kind of weird in his sneakers and baggy polo, as if Crist had interrupted his lawn mowing and told the surprised Governor Crist he had no interest in the appointment. So Mrs. Young said she also emailed Pinellas County Commissioner Charlie Justice and St. Petersburg lawyer Jessica Ehrlich, both Democrats who ran against her husband, telling them they were unwelcome at the memorial service. So not only was Charlie Crist unwelcomed, Commissioner Charlie Justice, wow, and St. Petersburg lawyer Jessica Ehrlich, they were also unwelcomed at a funeral? So, the Tampa Bay Times said Mrs. Young later stated that her husband specifically gave her name, which included Charlie Crist, of people he did not wish and wouldn't want to show up to his memorial service. Oh my Lord. So before Mr. Young dies, Mr. Republican Young, he is thinking about uninviting people to his funeral? Wow. And she goes on. Bill specifically, in bold letters now, he didn't want his memorial service to be a platform for local politicians to work the crowds. He's right. It's not only wrong, it's disgusting to see that happen, she said. In bold letters, he gave me the names of the people he wished wouldn't show up. That was just 3, and we both know I don't care about political correctness. So I took it upon myself to honor his wishes. She says, I've been at many political funerals and listened to locals standing in groups planning their strategies. God gave people souls, but some don't know to take advantage of that God-given gift. And she signs Beverly Young. Now, in another saga that's brewing and could only happen in Florida, his wife, Congressman's Young wife, widowed wife, Beverly Young, is now thinking of running for his seat. But also, his son and his nephew are trying to run for the same seat. Can you figure that out? Because I'm confused. Wow. So son, nephew, wife, all running for the same seat that was left by the late Bill Young, a Republican from Florida. You tell me if you can digest that one. And what would you do if you were uninvited to a funeral? I would just say, hello, I wasn't planning on coming anyway. I hate funerals. That would have been my response. Okay, welcome to the Diana White Show live at 10:30. This is just crazy. Uninviting someone to your funeral. Anyway, for my funeral, if you hate me, if you don't like me, do not come. Because I want it to be private for only those who loved and cared for me. That's it, seriously. Oh my goodness, a Republican who resigned last week, you must have heard of him by now, after making a series of racist remarks on Wednesday. I think it was not last week's Wednesday edition of the Daily Show, it was a week before, is now backing down. He's just not backing down from his remarks. So the North Carolina GOP precinct official, Don Yelton, I want you to write that name down because, I heard the reporter say to him, you know that people can hear what you're saying, right? He said yes, and he just doubled down. So he participated in a segment on the state's controversial voter ID law legislation, which he argued was not racist. He also criticized lazy black people that want the government to give them everything. Well, Mr. Yelton, Mr. Don Yelton, I just want to let you know, I'm black and I'm not lazy and I want nothing from the government. Unless I'm entitled to it, like Social Security that I paid into, Medicare that I paid into at some point that I worked in America. That's it. I want nothing from the government for free. So if I'm entitled to something, I'll take it. And if I don't need it, I don't take it. And I am certainly not lazy. And all the black people that I know, none of them are lazy. So you need to get out more, Mr. Yellen, or Mr. Yelton, and meet some more black people. And stop talking about one of your best friends are black. So now have a black person using the term. So this is his statement now. He says black people use the word N. You know what that word means. I don't know why people don't call the word. So he said the term nigger this and nigger that, and it's okay for them to do it while we can't. In a follow-up interview with the Rap.com on Friday now, Yelton did not relent on language of that nature, standing by his assertions. When asked if his comments were racist, Yelton invoked the word that got him in trouble in the first place. And then he went into his tirade. When a nigger can use the word nigger and it just be considered racist? That's the utmost racism in the world. And it's hypocrisy, he says. So the Buncombe County Republican Party distanced themselves from Mr. Yelton. I have a feeling they're only distancing themselves from him because he got caught. Don't you think they all think the same thing? Them lazy black people. And them lazy college students who don't want to go get a voter ID to go vote. So the Republican Party in Buncombe County, though, they're kind of saying his comments were offensive, uninformed, and unacceptable of any member within the Republican Party. I don't believe that for a minute. Let me make it very clear, Mr. Yelton's comments do not reflect the belief or feelings of Buncombe Republicans. Really? Because you see, Carolina was just beginning to try to woo the black vote. I think President Obama got 95% of it or 96% of it. So they're now trying to woo the black vote to come to Republicans. Not a good week for them. I don't think they're going to be very successful. No. So Chairman Henry Mitchell stated, this mentally... Okay. I like the Republicans, you know, when they try to distance themselves from things, they kind of act like they're innocent. So they're saying now, this mentality will not be supported or propagated within our party. Really? So all the Obama hating and the Obama disrespect, even by Speaker Boehner in the House of Representatives on the floor with him at the microphone? And whomever, we can't find out who said, I can't stand to look at you, to the president's face from the Republican Party? And the disrespect that he faced when he gave the address in the chamber? That person calling him a liar? And there's more, and there's more, and there's more? And everything Obama does is bad? And we're going to be so happy that his healthcare thing is not rolling out on the website properly? So, can we believe this or should we not? Wow. So we just want to let you know that Mr. Yelton did not seek the approval of the Republican Party of Buncombe County when he did what he did. And they want you to know too. So, should we excuse him for that? I don't think so. We should forgive, but we should not forget. Yes? So you forgive, you move on, but in your subconscious, there's always that thing. So there are so many hungry people out there to feed. And the Spartanburg Soup Kitchen in South Carolina, again, they're coming up with a whole lot of stuff going on in Carolina, needs every volunteer it can get, except if you're a member of the group Upstate Atheists, who were turned down when they offered to help at the soup kitchen because their godless hands could not do any good. So if you're an atheist, don't go to South Carolina and try to volunteer for any soup kitchen. Lou Landrum, executive soup kitchen director, told the Spartanburg Herald Journal she would resign her job before she lets atheist volunteers help in the soup kitchen. My goodness. Then she said, do they atheists think that our guests are so ignorant that they don't know what an atheist is? Why are they targeting us? Yes, why are they? Why are you trying to help at a soup kitchen when you're atheist? I thought volunteers are volunteers no matter who they are. Wow. So, if you're an atheist, you gotta go make your own soup kitchen. You can't go to South Carolina and volunteer, okay? Because they will not accept you. Their words, not mine. We're going to take another break and come back to you in just a moment as we head to the final moments of the Diana Wright Show live right here on www.dianawrighttv.webs.com. You can get it on your cell phone, any phone you have, unless your phone is really weird. So, most people have an Android, smartphone, iPhone, iPad, any kind of tablet, your desktop and your laptop, of course. Yeah, you can do that with that. So anywhere you are, you can kind of take me with you. How about that? We'll be back in just a moment. Hello, everyone. I am just asking you from around the world and in the United States to partner with the Diana Wright Show, sponsor the Diana Wright Show, or advertise on the Diana Wright Show. To do so, please call 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Please sponsor, partner with us, and advertise with us to make the show a big hit, just like you do by liking us on Facebook and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much. Don't forget the number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Also, we invite you to invite me to be at your event as a speaker and to tell you about my new book, Deadly Negligence. And so we encourage you to partner with us right here on the Diana Wright Show. Advertise with us and sponsor the Diana Wright Show. 561-228-1921. Thank you so much. Okay, we are back, and I'm going to give you now kind of the full story of the 19-year-old college student from Queens who says he was handcuffed and locked in a jail cell after buying a $350 designer belt at Barney's of New York on Madison Avenue because he's a young black man. His name is Trayon Christian, and he said he saved up from a part-time job for weeks to buy a Salvatore Ferragamo. Yeah, Salvatore Ferragamo, they make great comfortable shoes and high-end goods. So he wanted that belt in Barney's. And I paused there to continue with the story because I just want to say to Trayon Christian, you really don't need that belt for $350. You could do much better with your $350. Salvatore Ferragamo is wealthy. And as a young college student, you should be saving your money, trying to invest your money, instead of buying a belt for $350 in Barney's of New York on Madison Avenue. So that's my little opinion. Yeah? So when he went to the store to buy it, this happened in April and it's just coming out in the news last week, really. He says the checkout clerk asked to see his identification. That's okay. After the sale went through and he left the store, he was approached by police about a block away. Hello? And asked, this is a quotation now, how a young black man such as himself could afford to purchase such an expensive belt. That's according to the lawsuit that was filed last Tuesday in Manhattan in the Supreme Court in Manhattan. So we pause and we wonder. Now, personally, I would not buy a belt for $350 because I don't think any belt is worth $350. That's just me. Okay? That's just me. Let's just put that on the table. I won't buy a bag for $350 either, or I won't get a Hermes for $2,000 either. That's just me. Okay? I have better things to do with my money. So here we go. Officers hauled Christian to the local precinct where he showed police his identification, as well as his debit card and the receipt for the belt. That's what the lawsuit says. Police still believed Christian's identification was fake, and eventually called his bank, which verified it was his according to the complaint. Christian, who has no prior arrests, was released. He told NBC News in New York that questions were racing through his mind while he went through the painful experience of being handcuffed and taken to a cell. Just imagine you're 19-year-old going into a store, doing something foolish like buying a belt for $350 and then getting arrested for it down the street. Not in the store, but down the street. Wow. Why me, he asked. I guess because I'm a young black man and you know people do a credit card scam, so they probably thought that I was one of them, Christian said. They probably think that black people don't have money like that, he said. He later returned the belt to Barney's because he says he didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Wow, I'm so happy you took the belt back. And I'm sure you could find better use, young college student, Christian. I'm sure you could find better use for your $350. He's suing the city and the luxury department store, Hallelujah, for unspecified damages as a result of great physical and mental distress and absolutely humiliation. So because of that, a lot of people are calling out Jay-Z, the famous, the wealthy Mr. Bugatti Jay-Z, who everything Mr. Jay-Z touches seems to turn gold, including Beyonce. He is designing or have come up with a backpack, a raincoat, and something else, 3 items for Barney's of New York. So the black community, they are hopping mad and want Jay-Z to disassociate himself with Barney's and do not do those items. So I had a conversation around that over the weekend. How much wealth do you really need? How many cars do you really need? And how many houses do you really need? Are you buying these things, especially houses, because of taxes? Or are you buying them because you just figure, I have all this money, so I must just buy anything I want? You know, my grandmother used to tell me that when a dog has money, he buys cheese. Even though he doesn't eat the cheese, he buys cheese. So are we accumulating wealth just to buy stuff? Or are we accumulating wealth to help others who are less fortunate? I don't know what your motivation is. But stay away from the $350 belts, especially if you're a college student. Not that you want to think that they're going to arrest you, but the fact is you should not be buying a belt for $350. What's in the goddamn belt? Seriously, what's in the belt for $350 that you're buying? And look at the humiliation that it cost. But then again, if you are indeed a rich, young, black male college student or movie star, you should disguise yourself and go into Barney's and buy yourself some $600 belts maybe and show them and then return it. And if they arrest you too, they'll have some more lawsuits. How about that? That would be a good thing. And then Macy's need to join the fray. Lots of you go to Macy's and lots of black people just love Macy's. So now you learn that they're also accusing black men in Macy's who, actually the one they arrested he's an actor, has plenty of money. So I guess it's called shop and frisk if you are black. That's a terrible way to end the show. But that's it. Check out Bunny today for lunch in the Burlington Shopping Plaza, right at Southern and 441 there. You can't miss it. Tell Bunny Diana sent you and try, and I hope I keep telling him, make sure the food is consistent and stays good, all right? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Have a blessed day and a blessed week, and hope that your week brings you all the success that you hope for and that your heart desires. Take care. Ciao. See you tomorrow when I interview the great photographer, Mr. David Muir, and talk about his book, Pieces of Jamaica, a beautiful book of photography. You can go online and check it out. There's a beautiful thing on YouTube about the book, Pieces of Jamaica. So we'll talk to him tomorrow and let him tell you all the other things he's doing and planning and involved with. Have yourself a great day. Ciao.